Hello everyone, my name is Mrs Hilton. I'm the Head of PE and Sports Science here at Haven, and I also run and teach and head up the BTEC Level 3 National Extended Diploma in Sport. I'm very biased, but it's an absolutely fantastic course, and hopefully over the next 10-15 minutes you'll agree with me. So as you can see, we've got a couple of pictures here of our last 2-3 years cohorts of students, many of which, especially the picture on the left, are at university themselves now, studying various sports degrees ranging from physiotherapy, sports like rehabilitation and therapy, sports teaching, sports coaching, sports business, many things going on there. So hopefully they're all enjoying their time at university. The picture on the right are our current year 13s now, who are absolutely excelling on the course. So I'd just like to start off, and I'd like you to hear from Max Whitlock, the gymnast, and see why he chose to do BTEC.
I'm Max Whitlock, I'm a gymnast and I did BTEC sport. For me, BTEC was a no-brainer. I'm the type of person that likes to get stuck in and really involved in what I do. BTEC is practical as well as coursework based. It was perfect because I feel like that's the way I learn best. Straight after my BTEC, I went straight into full-time gymnastics training. I can look at what I learnt from my BTEC and it's made me be more productive with my time, made me manage my time a lot better. It's not about being the hardest worker in the room at the moment, it's about being the smartest. My favourite piece of pommel horse, and winning the gold medal for your country, stand on the podium, an unbelievable, crazy feeling that you don't get often. I have long-term, I have short-term goals. I always try to hit. If you don't set any targets, it's very hard to follow a path and reach any type of achievements. I would definitely recommend a BTEC to other people because I think if you're one of those people that like to get stuck in and get involved and know what you want and know what you need to get done, then it's definitely for you. I choose BTEC.
Okay, so it's not just Max, there's been many other elite sporting athletes who have studied the BTEC sport or sport and exercise science. You've got a few pictures up there, Rebecca Tunney, Molly Renshaw, Jack Knoll and so on. They've all done it and really been strong ambassadors of the course. It's a real vocational course. It's an opportunity to really consolidate theory and practical. Absolutely brilliant. It really does suit a lot of the kinesthetic learning styles that tend to come with sports students. I know certainly I'm much more of a kinesthetic learner. Previously there's been a bit of a stigma about BTECs and A-levels and are they very different? Well, yes, in the old days they used to be, not so much now. Since 2016 the BTECs come with external exams, and so they're now completely on a level basis. So don't be put off by the name BTEC because that stigma is well and truly in history now. So this particular course, this will give you the equivalent of 3 A-levels, and they, as I'll tell you later, they come out like distinctions, merits, passes, and they get transferred into your UCAS tariff, just like normal A-levels do. 95% of universities and colleges all accepting BTECs, and it's quite interesting that 30% of businesses actually prefer recruits to hold a real mixture of vocational and academic value. And what's great is 4 out of 5 BTEC students are going on at university to come out and graduate with a first or a second class degrees. And then you're looking at 90% of those BTEC students gaining full-time employment after graduating. So we've got some really strong statistics there that do show that there is a good career journey after doing the BTEC here with us. So you kind of want to know, obviously, that's why you're here, what is it that we will study and how are we going to be assessed? Well, over the 2 years, you're going to do 14 different units, 7 in year 12 and 7 in year 13. Now, in year 12, you will do an external exam, that's the one in red just up here. Okay, it's in anatomy and physiology. It's an extension of what you've done in BTEC Level 1-2, the first award. If you haven't done it, does not matter. You don't need to have studied BTEC Sport in year 10 and 11 to access this course. And the students that haven't done have still come out with absolutely fantastic top mark grades, even if they haven't done it previously. Now that exam is an hour and a half, sat in an exam hall with an external invigilator, and it's marked externally. Okay, You will also, and we do that in about May of year 12, May or June. And then we have a few more external set tasks. Now, these three here, fitness training and programming for health, sport and wellbeing, development and provision of sport and physical activity, and business for sport, they all come as pre-release material first off. So a few weeks before the exam, you get a bit of information, you then get a designated amount of hours to make your notes based on that, and then when the exam date comes, you get a little bit more supplementary evidence to really test your knowledge and consolidate everything into an exam on that day, and you bring all your notes with you. So it's actually really testing your research skills and how fast you can write, which is great. Now with that one, the fitness training and programming, that's done in year 12, and I actually do that really early on. So my current year 12s are preparing for that exam now, ready to sit it in January. The reason I do that is because with the anatomy and physiology exam later on in the year, it gives them an opportunity to focus on one exam before then doing the other in the summer. Also, the beauty of the BTEC is that the students get 3 attempts. So the first attempt is the real exam, the second attempt the school pay for, and that's an opportunity to resit, and the highest mark is taken. And then they get a third attempt if they really, really need it. I haven't yet seen any students take a third attempt, but the option is there. You do have to pass at least a near pass level, and I'll explain that later, every single unit to be able to achieve the actual qualification of the 3 equivalent A-levels at the end. Have designed the course that if after year 12 you haven't got, you need to leave for whatever reason, then you can leave on 1.5 A-levels. But that hasn't happened yet. People normally stick with us all the way through and through. The development and provision of sport and the business for sport, they're taken in the January of year 13. Both exams in the January, so you have the opportunity for the resit in the summer. Because it's year 13, that's your last chance. Okay, you then have the internally set assignments, which there's 10 of those, and I'm going to go through those in a bit more detail. So here we go. So they're the ones in the green down here. The mandatory units, the ones that Pearson, Edexcel, the exam board, tell us we have to do. Professional development in the sports industry, an absolutely fantastic unit. It's taught by Mr. Drew. You'll really learn how to job research, write your CVs, carry out an interview. Brilliant. Skill acquisition in sport is really, really good, looking at information processing, what's the difference between skills and abilities, how do we learn best, like what type of guidance, what methods and types of practice, what's the feedback element of things, really good, and we can put all of that into practice. Sports leadership speaks for itself. It's obviously looking at how we can promote good sports leadership and run a few leadership sessions. The practical sports performance is looking at you in an individual sport and a team sport. There's only one little part of it where you have to actually carry out the practical requirements, but it's more a case of can you research everything about that sport, the rules, the regulations, the technique, the tactics, the etiquette, can you analyse what's good, what's bad and so on, and provide areas to develop. Coaching for performance speaks for itself. You're going to create like a bit of a coach's journal, what makes the most effective coach, what kind of things do they need to consider, like EBS, risk assessments and so on, what qualities, skills, behaviour. And then research methods is lovely because this is an opportunity for you to learn how to carry out research in sport, the qualitative, quantitative data, and then go and have a little look at gathering all that information yourself and turning that into a bit of a presentation. And then we get the opportunity to choose 4 optional units. So we look at fitness testing, which is brilliant. Our current year 13s are doing that now. You go about it in a practical way. You've researched how to carry out all the testing, and then you go and make your videos doing it. I love doing sports event organisation. We can do anything. We normally run a big orienteering primary school event, but the world's our oyster, and with amazing leadership that we've got at our school, there's lots of different things we can do in there. We like to get our students out into active leisure. At the end of the day, they've chosen the extended diploma probably because they're quite certain they want some kind of future as a career in sport. And so we do encourage them to get out for as long as possible. Now, we were pre-COVID, we're hoping to go for 4 weeks. That got stalled. So this year I'm hoping maybe 2 weeks, but we just have to wait and see. And we do actually get students that get employment for the rest of the summer and from then on out of those experiences as well. And then we look at how you follow the rules, the regulations and officiate in sport too. That's a very popular course. The students really enjoy that one. So there are all the 14 different units. Like I said, 7 in year 12 and 7 in year 13. An example of an externally set task, you might get, for example, in Unit 2 for me, you'll get your Part A and you're going to get some information on a person. Let's just say it's a 40-year-old woman who gets 4 hours worth of sleep, she's stressed, she smokes, she drinks 25 units of alcohol, high BMI, high blood pressure. You get a holistic outlook of this person. And then on Part B, when it's the real exam date, you get a little bit more information as well. And then you have to go and basically look at how to identify what's positive, what's negative about her lifestyle. What can you advise her to improve? What could you advise about her diet? And then how could you tell her to train effectively? It's a great course. And similar things will happen with business and the professional development in the sports industry too. You'll get all that information first, and then you will research it and then consolidate that in the real exam. An example of an internal assignment, okay, I've got one here on the fitness testing. You might have to do a report on the different principles of fitness testing, letting us know all about the practicality, the suitability, the ethics of fitness testing. You then might have to do a presentation, because we like to assess you in lots of different ways, justifying why you're selecting certain fitness tests for a particular person or team. And then you have to produce a report that interprets all the results and how it was all carried out and did you meet the ethical guidelines and so on. So that's there. I'm going to show you an example of like a written assignment that a student has done for me throughout the lockdown. I'm just going to get that for you now. Okay, so this is one of my current year 13 students. She did exceptionally well throughout lockdown, and this will just give you an idea of what assignments could look like. We love images. It makes it nice and easy to explain and lay out your work. I don't want it to put you off. She did this over a good few months. She built this up. We scaffold learning to support you as much as possible. We provide all the resources, but absolutely fantastic work. This is a distinction standard, so that will just give you a little bit of an idea. So I mentioned a minute ago that that would have been distinction work. Well, that's how we grade. We grade with either a pass, a merit or a distinction. You can't get a distinction star in an actual assignment. That comes at the end once all of your grades have been added up as a final tariff. So each assignment will have its own grading, all turns into UCAS points recognised by the universities. And we always like to guide our students with a bit of a target, so they will get their A-level performance score grade at the start of October normally. It's based on their GCSE prediction results, and it is pretty accurate actually, but it does give the children the students a bit of an understanding of where could they kind of see themselves finishing. Most people actually finish way above, just to give you an idea. So this is how we track the progress. So that particular unit that I just showed you there of my year 13 student, okay, it actually carries 90 guided learning hours, over here on the internal units. So she's actually getting 24 distinction points for that particular unit so far. She's not completed all of it, but she's virtually there, and this is what she's working towards. And I can tell you as well that in her 2 exams that she did last year, which were both 120 guided learning hours, she got distinction, so she was on 64 points all the way through. So we can just add up as we go along, and then it will indicate where they finish at the very, very end. Now last year we managed to get a few students finishing on a D star, D star, D, which was absolutely brilliant. I haven't had a triple distinction star yet, although I've got a few students in year 13 who I think might be there ready to nab that top grade, which will be fantastic. But when you think the equivalent that is of an A star, A star, A, the majority of our students finish here, D, 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 D star, D, D. either way, absolutely incredible results. And most of them actually get unconditional offers for university because they do so well and they have strong personal statements as well. So what platform do we use? We're doing everything through Google Classroom. We were doing this prior to COVID and the remote learning anyway. It's a nice way of putting all the information in one place and sharing that with our moderators and so on. The students are very familiar with it now and they're just working with it with ease. Now obviously it means, for example, right now our year 12s and 13s are obviously going off for self-isolation for 2 weeks. So straight away lessons carry on as normal. We'll be able to do live lessons all the way through. Yeah, nice and easy. So it really doesn't hinder learning at all. Now, we like to do lots of other things with our BTEC students. You're probably getting a sense from the pictures and so on that we are very much a family unit. The 27 hours are done all together, and with a teaching team of four teachers, between 27 hours, we're with those students a lot every fortnight. It's absolutely brilliant. We're doing 7 or 8 lessons each with them. So we like to do what we can. We like to go on trips. So as you can see here in the top left, we headed off over the Severn Bridge to Cardiff, like we always try to do each year. Couldn't this year, so we actually did a virtual one where this lady here actually did it on like a Zoom session. Not saying, I think it's very important that our students get out there and actually experience real universities. It's what gives them that motivation and that goal to really go and study further education after they leave us. They're also exposed, and that's what that particular picture's there. They're exposed to what courses do universities have on offer, and they have things there that they've probably never heard of before, like this one down here, the performance analysis. Absolutely fantastic courses. We did practicals, that's Charlie there, doing the VO2 max test. It's absolutely brilliant days, and so we like to keep doing those as much as we can. Okay, we've also got some other pictures here. We like to use the local provisions that we've got around us. So this again linked to business and sport and also that fitness and training unit. This is one of my old students, Adam, from many, many years ago. He's now a personal trainer up at the W Club. So he had us up at the W Club and he gave my students a big theoretical session all on personal training and the theory behind training. And he then put them through a very rigorous, and me in fact, circuit training, which was brilliant, but we were all very, very tired at the end of it. Down in this bottom left, this is where actually we've got, just behind my picture here, if I move, I don't know if I can move, an old student teacher with us from Marjons, and he is a specialist triathlete, and he was going through all the nutritional ergogenic aids, and the students found that fascinating. So we really do like to expose them to as much as possible. We normally like to get psychologists in, nutritionists in as well. At the moment, it's not quite possible, but for next year, fingers crossed, we'll be back to normal. So obviously everyone wants to know, do we do practicals? Well, yes, we do. We do a lot of practicals. If I go to the second bullet point first, we have a lot of fun practicals because the students are so well drilled to just getting their work done and meeting deadlines. They all know that they'll get the practicals from that, so it does kind of encourage them to speed up with it. And we do lots of friendly competition against year 13. So our current year 12s are actually in the lead on 3-2 against our year 13s with different sports that they've played: netball games, dodgeball games, football games, rounders and so on. But then, like I said earlier, with all the specific units, there is going to be a lot of practical requirements within all of those: coaching and leadership and event organisation and so on. Okay. It's not an easy course, and I think people really do need to understand that. It's very time consuming, it requires a lot of independence, it really will promote fantastic organisational skills, it will promote good communication skills because you will be talking to us a lot and letting us know how you're getting on. Certainly going to require a lot of resilience. Some units will come to you really easily and others not so much. But one thing I can guarantee you, it's fun and it's interesting and it's engaging. So if you're not sure about us doing the extended diploma in sport or doing the sports and exercise science, I just thought I'd let you know a little bit the difference. The sports and exercise science, I also am the main teacher for that one and I love that one too. It's equivalent to just one A-level. The functional anatomy that you study on sports science is virtually the same as the anatomy and physiology. There's just a little bit more for the functional anatomy. The sports science goes into a lot more depth with sports psychology and biomechanics. The extended diploma just touches on sports psychology. We could do it as an optional unit, but we like the other optional units a little bit more. It suits the nature of our students that a little bit more. Both courses are going to look at coaching in sport. Both courses come on with us on all those inspiration visits to universities and have the guest speakers. They will both get you into lots of sporting future careers, teaching, coaching, leisure management, sports development, nutrition and so on. But one thing I do need to let you know is that sport and exercise science is much better if you want to go into sports psychology, sports physiotherapy and so on. They will also get you into the Russell Group universities, which are the top universities in the country. However, the extended diploma, the Russell Groups don't endorse it just yet. Okay, so I thought you could hear from some students as well.
Hi, I'm Jade. I'm a Year 13 extended diploma sports student.
Okay, thanks for talking to us, Jade. Did you always know that you wanted to do this course?
I always loved sport and the extended diploma was 14 units of sport, which was fantastic to know and learn.
Are there any particular units that you liked more so than others, or?
I like the leadership one and the anatomy and physiology.
Brilliant. And have you found that there's been quite a lot of different learning styles to suit all the different needs in the class?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. And what's your next steps? Where's this course taking you?
So I'm thinking D-Star D&D, but I'm aiming for a D-Star D-Star D.
Yep.
And I've just recently been accepted into the secondary school PE teacher at Margin University.
Yeah, it's fantastic news. Thank you, Jade. And what about you?
I'm Sam. I'm also doing the extended diploma in sport.
Okay.
So far.
Yeah, and so what is it in particular about the course that you really like?
I think just all we're a whole team. I mean, we do 27 lessons a fortnight with each other, so there's a lot of hours working together. Everyone just helps each other out and helps everyone get through struggling times, that sort of thing.
Okay, and have you found that you've been doing much practical work at all?
Yeah, I mean, most of the units we try and get in a bit of practical work just to sort of reinforce through something that we all know we love.
Okay.
Especially coaching, stuff like that, you can really help develop our younger students, stuff like that.
And have you been enjoying our bit of intra-year group competition
I
against
love
the Year
it. I mean,
12s?
Monday we've got our football competition against the Year 12s, year below BTEC.
Okay, now Zav, you're obviously not going into a sports career, you're going to go down the music route, but do you think by doing this course it has still had lots of transferable skills?
Oh, definitely. I think it's something I love anyway, so I can sort of, it's not been a struggle and I can really take forward the teamwork and that sort of thing into my career.
Yeah, you've certainly learned a lot with organisation and research.
Keeping on top of it, really, yeah.
Okay, any top tips, you two, for any potential Year 11 students wishing to think about the course for next year?
Definitely take it.
Brilliant. Just go for it. I mean, it's great fun. Whatever you do.
Brilliant, thank you both.
So that was Jade and Zav. They've been fantastic students all the way through. That whole class have been. So if you want to know any more information, students, just please stop me in the corridor. You know I'm a Year 11 BTEC tutor, Year 11 tutor anyway, so you know where you can come and find me. I'd love you just to come and talk to me. If there's anything you're unsure about or I haven't covered today, please do so. Okay. I just want to leave you with Peter Jones talking about BTEC, and thank you for listening to the presentation.
Hi, Peter Jones here. At the Peter Jones Enterprise Academy, we know how important it is for young, ambitious people to get the right education in order to kickstart their careers. So, with students, as well as teachers and employers demanding modern, work-related qualifications, why choose BTEC?
BTEC gives you a route into employability much faster because it's giving you the tools and techniques through the learning to actually be very valuable to an employer. And that's one of the reasons I chose BTEC, getting a fast route into employment.
A BTEC empowers young people and inspires them through an amazing hands-on learning experience. It helps develop their skills, nurture their potential, and gives them the confidence to pursue their chosen career path or further education.
Over the last few years, we have increasingly offered more places to BTEC students. We very much value the skills they bring to the university. Skills such as teamwork, creative thinking, and presentation skills, all of which are essential to succeed in university.
I chose a BTEC because of the practical experience that you gain from it. It's also allowed me to get coaching qualifications, which has helped me with the university course, as that has been more placement orientated, and it helped me write a personal statement showing that I was versatile.
BTEC students coming with vocational skills can really add something extra to the university setting. We've seen a real rise in the number of students applying with BTEC qualifications, and we've accepted many more as well. And what we're really pleased to see is that those students are going on to be really successful while they're at this University of Exeter.
BTEC really gave me a chance to develop my practical skills, build confidence talking to different people, different clients, and also prepared me when I was trying to build my portfolio, learn how to do interviews, ready for the experience.
BTEC students have a particular set of skills that prepares them really well for university, in particular the ability to work independently and to see an integration between the subjects that they're studying. We love BTEC students and we look forward to welcoming more onto campus in the next few years. I choose BTEC.
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 And why do I choose BTEC? Because BTEC courses give young people real hands-on experience in their chosen careers. It's what I call learning by doing, and means that you'll be genuinely job ready. That's why I set up the Peter Jones Enterprise Academy, and that's why I choose BTEC.
Thank you once again, and I hope to see many of you join our course for September next year. Thank you. Bye-bye.